Good morning, afternoon, and evening. Guys, this is a guide for abandoned operator. Guys, the best for this is when you do this run. What I've realized, if you take this normal route to get to the factory with the factory key, the chances of the items that the shopkeeper needs will not be there. If you take the secret passage, it will be there. But for that, you need two keys. Key A and key B. Key A is normally found in this first part where we are now. But it seems like the game has been glitched now for a little while because we could not find the A key. Every time we come in with a rebreather, the A key is not here. When I do not come in with a rebreather, then the A key will be in this section. But because Ladine had a rebreather on him, the key did not spawn, but we did bring in the A key from our inventories. Dom Lighty brought it and gave it to me. I put it in a secure backpack so that if something happens, we don't lose it. Guys, you have to loot everywhere. If you've done a few runs to the shopkeeper, you will know the stuff that he normally asks for. So as you come across those parts, you need to keep them. So a large backpack is a good thing to do, and someone with an insured backpack so that you don't lose the important stuff. So here where you get the optic, this is normally where you get some or even most or even all of the places. Where I'm going now is where you can find the optic without a rebreather. This was the first time that I actually found rebreathers down here. That normally doesn't happen. So I took the chance, because I was finding rebreathers down here, to somewhere loot everywhere inside here. You have to look everywhere. You have to be familiar with what the shopkeeper needs, like the scientist note, the lab coat books, the chloride, the chlorine, and all of that stuff. Here is the B key. As you can see in my inventory, I already had the A key. You need these two keys. I think this has to do with the mission. You have to take the secret passage. Because every time we took the normal passage, it was chaos. We could not find the parts. But if you keep on looking, you will see exactly how to get to this secret area. Yeah, my inventory was full, so I came back and I dropped some of the stuff for Ladine to keep. And I asked him for the other rebreather so that I could take my time down there and make sure that I'm looting everywhere. And I did find some items down there. In the end, I think we needed the beta board and the lab codes or something, the lab notes or something like that. But make sure to check every part here, to loot everywhere. Guys, most of the stuff, you see this box that's in front of me, that I'm not the one that I'm at now. I'm in my inventory. But yeah, these boxes, they normally, where I'm getting the rebreather now, they normally have the items that you need, or I have found it in the vintage desks. As you'll see where I get the last part that we need. But make sure to take your time. If you only have one rebreather, go through. There's where the optic spawns. If it's not by the part where you don't need the rebreather, this is where the optic will always spawn. But make sure you take your time and look everywhere. Behind this door, I found the scientist notes before. I found the lab coat before. So it's all here. Here I found the alpha boards. You get the alpha, the beta, and the data. So it all depends on the shopkeeper. You'll see later on that we literally, when we used the secret entrance, there was a team there as well. That happens because they will enter from the chemical plant site. They will get the factory key and they will enter from that site. And where you are going through a secret entrance part, which has nothing to do with that, but you will mostly run into a team. If not, the second time we did this, we did not run into any teams, but it is a possibility. But if it's a 3-team squad, it's fine. 6-team will be a little bit harder. But anyhow, make sure you loot this part to the teeth. And I think you really have to use the secret entrance. Because every time we just went straight through the factory, the list will have 3 things on or 2 things on that we didn't see at all. We never saw it, and it was impossible to get it. We got this mission to where we've dropped stuff into the day drop for the shopkeeper before, but we could never get him to open because we never could find all the stuff that he needed. So the very first run that we did here, where we went through to the secret passage, we had all the stuff, and the second part we needed was actually right next door, so to speak. Not next door, but in the room next to the shopkeeper, as you'll see later on. So, only thing that you do now, there's a glitch with the rebreather. If you do not use it all the way, it will get stuck there. You won't be able to put a mutation box or anything in there, so make sure you finish the rebreather that you have equipped. Otherwise, you will not be able to equip anything else. So once we've looted this part and we know we've done a decent job in looting it, we carried on. So this part as well, you need to loot, because this is where we also found, I think, the chloride, which he normally asks for. But make sure you loot everywhere. Everything that you've seen on every run that you went and you looked at the shopkeeper's list, if you've seen something on there, you grab it. Like here, all of these 3 parts he has asked for before, but I had a full backpack, so I asked Nadine, just come and grab that. The part where I'm going to now, this is the normal entrance. This is where we'll go into the dark area where you need your night vision goggles. But this is not the part we're going to go to. I was waiting for Nadine and them to get back to that middle part where you can breathe, and for him to pick up those 3 items. As I went back, I looted the places I haven't seen, just to make sure that I have found everything the shopkeeper could possibly ask for. I was stressing a little bit because the scientist notes I have not found yet, but the doorway we're going in now, this is how you get to the secret passage, but we haven't looted here yet. So I thought maybe the scientist notes will be here, because I found it before, but it wasn't here. But we did find the delta boards, which is important. Beta, delta, and alpha. Those are 3 boards. He can ask for any one of these items. Luckily, I only asked for 1, so you don't have to have 2 items of each. But this is the way to the secret passage. You go straight through, and there's a hole on top here, and you go in. When you have the 2 keys, you place it in here, and the door will open. Now, I haven't looted. I wanted to make sure the vintage desk didn't have anything that we needed, and it did have two things that he could ask for. So I grabbed them and then went back up the hall. And when you hear watch out, you could run into another team. Remember that, guys. It's very, very important. You'll see now, we did run into another team. I was checking what I had. I was talking to Ladine, and Don Boy ran into someone. But they also will not expect it because you're coming from a secret passage. So we were fighting with them. I think it was only 2 people. I'm not sure. I don't know if the third guy ran away. But yeah, eventually we took them out. Ladine got a large backpack, which was perfect because we needed that to loot more. Because as you go, you need to loot. I was worried about the scientist notes because every time we have been to the shopkeeper, that is what he asked. But like I said, this was the first time we took this route. There I found something else that he would ask for. So I asked the dean just to go check. There's one item in there that he does not have, which he needs to put in his backpack for if we do need it, because I only had space for my plates. Now you'll see here, we literally ignore the bots. We checked every room for the scientist notes because I was so sure that we were going to get the scientist note as an item, which we did not in the end, but I was sure about that. But you'll see right here, don't engage with the bots, just go straight to the ladder, go over, drop down, go to your right, drop down, and you will see that the shop is right there. Look at the list and see what you need. So we had the beta board. That's one of the items we had, but we did not have the code book. So my teammates went and they started looking for that. First, look in the area you are on. If it's not here, you have to bring an L2 restriction card. It looks like a stronghold key card, but it's not. It gives you access to the other parts of the bunker. But first, look around where you are. Because especially when you take the secret entrance, the chances of the item being close to the shopkeeper is very good because you did not take the normal route. Yeah, I'm checking what has been ticked off, but I realized we have already ticked off both. So I just had a look again at what do we need. So it's the lab book. So I just put some stuff into the dead drop. Don't ask me why. I was just throwing stuff in there. And then decided, okay, I told them, let's go. Let's look for this Delta book. I realized, but wait. I never checked this vintage bloody book table. Let me check it. And swear to God, there it was. Lab coat book. So here we had all that we needed. Guys, this mission was haunting us. I'm telling you now, it was really haunting us. It's not an easy mission. It seems easier, like I say, if you do the secret way with the keys. I think that's the way to do it. Because yeah, then you just buy something from them and it will be finished. You can see how happy we are about this. Guys, please, if you like the guides, please leave a like, a sub, and peace out.